Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning to each and every one of you. I was able to hear a lot of cheer earlier, but I was not able to see. But now I can see some of you, and definitely in the front, my friend Andy Smallwood. Hi, Andy, and the others. I can just get a partial view of all of you. I'm so happy to see some of you. I would have been more happy meeting each and every one of you in person there, but that will happen. It has not happened because of the pandemic, but let's keep our fingers crossed. I'm sure we'll meet each other at Houston, just in your area. I'm delighted to be here with all of you, and thank you, Susie, for having me here. And thank you, Jim Griffin, inviting on behalf of all the others. It's good to know about this training institute, that so many districts are coming together, not only the governors, but the district officers and others. So friends, the year has started and 1 month has passed. I'm sure each and every one of us is involved in grow more and do more. We need to grow more. For 20 years, we have not grown really. In fact, our numbers have gone down over the 20 years. 1.2 million had become a cliche. And it had been now for 20 years. But I always feel an organization as vibrant as ours, which has such a great history of 116 years, a footprint in more countries than even the United Nations, a legacy of nothing less than nearly eradicating a disease from the face of earth. I think this organization needs to grow, and there is no reason why it should not. So I thought, let's take the 1.2 million to 1.3 million. Audacious? Yes. Difficult? Yes. Easy? Yes. Because if only the president of Rotary International wanted it, I don't think it would happen. If the board of directors only wanted it, I don't think it would happen. Nor will it happen if all the 500 and odd governors wanted it. It will happen only if the 1.2 million wanted it. And all we needed to do is each one bring one. That's all. If each of us was ready to bring just one person to Rotary, just one person to Rotary in 12 months, that's a long time. One person in 12 months, I don't think that's a difficult task. I'm sure each and every one of you can do it. Let's quickly see a hand raise. How many of you think in the next 11 months now, you will be able to get one member to Rotary? Just give it a thought, a friend, a colleague, somebody. Yeah, I can see Nita's hand going up. So let's see how many of you will get one member into Rotary in the next 11 months. And who says membership in America is not going to grow? I can't believe it. And you know, I've done this exercise right from Japan to America, South America, Asia, Europe, and the response has been, it's not difficult for anybody in a year to get just one member. The only problem is what we've just now raised hand for, we tend to forget, and it's human. So the district governors, it's your responsibility to keep reminding them through the club presidents, and I can tell you magic will happen at the end of the year. You keep your bit of promise of just getting one member into Rotary. I'll keep the promise of taking the membership to 1.3 million. And as we get members, let's get some younger members. We need young blood. We need young thoughts, the young energy. And we also need female members. Female is half the humanity. It should be half Rotary also. But we are only half the way to half of women in Rotary. So I think there is a lot of ground to cover, and I'm sure we'll be able to do that soon. I'm sure you're forming new clubs because that's one strategy that has been adopted in North America and is working well. One of the best ways to grow, of course, is getting more people into Rotary through new clubs. And there are great opportunities for new clubs nowadays. Flexible clubs, amazing opportunities. These weren't there 20 years back, 15 years back. Today you can have virtual clubs, and I think they're going to be huge success. Virtually, we have been more connected than ever. We've been able to move from one country to other, one area to other. One club comprises now of people from multiple countries. So there are virtual clubs. I would say hybrid clubs are one of the best things to happen. My own club has become a hybrid club. So each meeting, those who cannot attend in person attend via Zoom, just as I'm doing it right now. And friends, there are other clubs, satellite clubs, cause-based clubs is becoming a huge success. People who wish to work for WASH, they come together. People who want to work on literacy, education around the world, they come together, form a club from different parts of the world, and they're ready to do projects in different parts of the world. So all of this is going to ensure that we grow more. And when we grow more, I'm sure we will want to do more, and we will be able to do more. Different people join Rotary for different purposes. I joined Rotary 35 years back, just to make friends. Service was the last thing on my mind. I was young at that time, just 25 years old. Life was comfortable. I didn't know what the problems of other people were. So I joined Rotary, made friends. Now I realize I made friends for a lifetime. But something happened just in 6 months that I had joined my club. My club took me 50 kilometers away from my own home to a village near Calcutta. And that one day and subsequent visits, sorry, and the subsequent visits to that and similar villages changed my thought process altogether. And all of this happened because of Rotary. Here I am at my home, wanting to go for a bath, and I want to wonder whether the running water is hot or not. And in this village, they did not have toilets at their homes. I'm worried whether the filter is working or not. In those villages, they had water from the same pond that they bathed in because they did not have toilets. I always was concerned which school or college my children would go to, how big the campus would be, how good the building would be. And here the only campus the children in that village saw was under the shade of a tree. If it rained, there were no classes. If the sun was too hard, the campus moved a little. And I realized what was just normal life for me was a dream for them. There was no good health facility there. Education was dismal. Wash facilities were non-existent. And then I realized there are two worlds in this world. One was my world. The other was this world, which was just 50 kilometers away from my home. And in between was my Rotary Club, which over a period of time ensured that we put up thousands of toilets in those areas. Now, fortunately, each of those homes has a toilet, courtesy Rotary. We built schools, made them happy schools, as we called them, where children were ready to come. They had a library. They had a school building. We ensured that they started getting water, and very recently getting tap water in their homes. So friends, what was Rotary doing there? We were changing lives. serving them to change lives. And I realized I've done it along with my Rotary Club members for years. And I'm sure each and every one of you has. Some have these opportunities in their backyard, like me. But many do not have this opportunity in backyards, in your backyards, just like you. But today, with the world having shrunk, more so because of the pandemic and because of this, the online facilities, I think the backyard for any of us is the entire world. And there are still parts of this world where there is problems of water, sanitation, of literacy, education, problems of healthcare. And there is so much each and every one of us can do. Either at times going to these places and helping them out, at times writing a check to the Rotary Foundation and doing programs and projects through that, at times just giving ideas and giving your own time to do these projects across the world. So I would urge each and every one of you to take this opportunity to serve, to change lives. It's a great opportunity. There's no life better lived than a life that you live for others. We all have done well for ourselves in our life, and we need to ensure that we can do a little better for some people who are unable to do good for their own lives. But for Rotary, I do not think I would have been able to do any of this. I remember the first time I got done a heart surgery for a little child. The smile on the faces of the parents, the joy that they experienced was unbelievable, absolutely. And then the second heart surgery, then the third, then the fourth, then scaling it up across India. And the result has been, friends, that over the last 12 years, we have been able to do 20,000 heart surgeries for little children. Lives change. The mother and father wait for 9 months for their bundle of joy to arrive. And when the child arrives, they're ecstatic, absolutely. But in a few months' time, they find their baby turning blue. And they find that their baby has a hole in the heart. It pierces a hole in their own hearts. Forget the hole that it pierces in their pockets, because of the 2,500 such parents that I have interacted with, not one of them earned enough to get the surgery done. Forget what they earned in 1 year. Of the money that they would earn in 3 years' time, they would be able to get the surgery done. But you need to spend some money of what you earn. So it would take them nearly 6 months to get the surgery done. The child may not even live for 6 months, forget 6 years. And then Rotary comes in. We mend the heart of that child, and you change the life not just of the child, but the entire family. Imagine a child in our family suffering from a hole in the heart. And we realize what pain one goes through, what impact it has on that family. Similarly, I've seen so many good things happening, and all because of the wonderful work Rotarians do across the world. When it comes to healthcare facilities, or even during the COVID times, what excellent response, outstanding response by the Rotarians. Not just in my country, but around the world, different parts of the world, where people had resources, they sent out money, but this time everybody needed help. Service was probably never a commodity needed more than what we experienced over the last couple of years. So I would just urge each and every one of us to get involved in how much we can serve, because service is something that grows on you. Over the years, it has become a way of life for me. So much so that the guiding mantra of my life itself has become, service is the rent I pay for the space I occupy on this earth. And I want to be a good tenant of Mother Earth. So I serve. And I think it is all because of Rotary that I'm able to do that. I'm sure each and every one of you also does this day in, day out. And we are changing lives. But to me, we are doing God's work on earth. Not just Rotarians, anybody who's making the lame to walk, the blind to see, who's healing the sick. So let me end with the thought, with the story about Abu bin Adam. Abu was sleeping, and in his sleep, he saw this dream where he saw an angel. The angel was writing something. Abu asked the angel, "What do you write?" The angel said, "I'm writing names of people who love God." Abu asked, "Is my name there?" The angel said, "No, sorry, your name is not there." Abu said, "But why? All my life, I've done God's work on earth. I've just helped people whenever they needed, whatever they needed, we've done." He again said, "I've made the lame to walk, the blind to see. I've healed the sick." The angel said, "Sorry, but your name is not there." Next day again, Abu was sleeping, and again he saw the same angel. The angel was again writing something, and he again asked, "Angel, what do you write today?" And the angel said, "Today I'm writing names of people who God loves because they are doing God's work on earth. And Abu, I'm happy to say your name is right at the top." Friends, what was Abu doing? He was helping people. He was caring for people. He was thinking of others before he thought of himself. He helped the blind to see. He helped the lame to walk. Is that not what Rotarians do? So if you think philosophically, friends, each of you and all the Rotarians around the world and people like Rotarians around the world are indeed doing God's work on earth. Friends, the biggest gift we are given is the power to touch a life, to change, to make a difference in the circle of life. If we can reach out with our hand, heart, and soul, the magic will begin to happen as the wheel begins to roll. Let's turn the wheel together so all humanity thrives. Friends, we have the power and the magic to serve, to change lives. Thank you. Thank you.
I understand you took a question. Do we have questions? Anybody here have a question for our president? Certainly.
So I just want to make sure, President Shekhar, that you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
So I'm going to open up the floor, and if you would, anyone in the audience would like to come up, stand here, look into the camera, and ask President Shekhar a question. Thank you.
Let me first have a look at Susie. Hi, Susie. How are you? Good to see you.
President Shekhar, it's a pleasure to have you in Texas. Have you been here before?
I wanted to, but you created the pandemic and I couldn't. But I'm planning to come this month.
As I'm planning to come to Evanston in October, don't let me down.
I won't. I promise you, I won't.
And Shekhar, just between you and me, who is your favorite trustee?
Favorite board of directors or trustee?
And who is your favorite director?
I don't know, somebody who lives in Texas, I believe.
Governor Xavier, do you have a question? You have a question, Governor Xavier.
President Shekhar, a pleasure to, I'm tall, so let me squat a little bit. I'm not as tall as Director Susie, but I just want to know, what's the single most thing that you're looking forward to in your year as president of this great organization?
Sorry, what's the single most?
Yes, the single most opportunity that you're looking forward to this year as president.
I think the biggest change-making thing that would happen probably is the membership. It's extremely important that we grow. No organization is good if it doesn't grow for 20 years. And this year, in fact, we are starting with 12,000 less than the last year. We are at 1.162 million rather than 1.2 million. So that makes our task a little more audacious. But more people will mean more service, more contributions to the foundation, greater strength to the organization. So I think that's an extremely important thing. Apart from that, of course, empowering girls is extremely important.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's open, the mic is open, come on, you have a wonderful opportunity.
How are you?
Hi.
I want to give you
How
love.
are you?
Tons of love.
How are you, Patrick? Good to see you.
What's been your favorite part the first month of being president? What has been the thing that surprised you the most?
Sorry, I wasn't able to hear you.
What surprised you the most as your first month as being our president?
Well, the best thing that has given me a lot of joy in the first month is that now I've got a visa with that special interest exemption, which allows me to go to Evanston the coming week itself.
Hey, give Rashi our love. It's good to see you.
Oh yeah, thank you. Good to see you, Patrick. Wonderful.
Good, good. Sounds
Hey, Joe.
And here's somebody from my district that didn't twist his arm. Here we are.
Well, hello, thank you for being here today. What challenges do you see in Rotary developing diversity and inclusion?
Yes, there are challenges, let me tell you. The first challenge will be to make aware the Rotarians around the world. DEI, as I realize, is not something which everyone around the world even understands or knows. I've come across so many people, when I mention DEI, they don't know what it is. At times, their thought process, their culture does not allow them to think that way. In some of the countries, it is some of the issues are illegal, in fact. In some of the countries, they are being made legal. So it's extremely important that we make the Rotarians fully aware. When the Rotarians become aware of DEI, they will start making others aware. And that would be the biggest challenge, and that would be something that we should start doing ASAP.
Thank you. Hello, President Shekhar.
Hi. Hi.
So on a much lesser, I would say, serious note, to be in the spirit of things, hopefully we do get to meet next year at the international conference. I want to ask you a two-part question. So given you are coming to Texas, what size hat do you wear and what size boots?
I wear different hats in life. I do. So there is not one size that I wear. At different parts, different times, I wear different hats. But if you want the physical size, I definitely will let you know.
All right. And then size shoes for some boots.
I don't know what size boots I wear, but I know I have stepped into big boots, which other people have worn.
All right, so I'll make my personal mission to get you some.
I'm short, so you don't have to read this. Hello.
Hi.
So Rotary
Rotaractor, and I want to see what's your perspective on Rotaract and what's the goal for your year with Rotaract in general in the world.
Great question. To me, one of the best things that has happened in the recent past, now probably 2.5 years, is the fact that Rotaract has now become a type of membership and not just a program of Rotary. Elevate Rotaract is one of the best things that's happening. But let me tell you, that's just the beginning now. As the Rotaractors start paying their dues, they will realize with small amount of dues, they'll get huge amount of rights. And I'm waiting for that day, because that's going to open the vistas for the Rotaractors. Suddenly the canvas will become much bigger, the horizon will become much bigger. You'll be able to do everything nearly as the years pass by, just as the Rotarians do. The only thing probably later would be an organization with 2 different types of membership, one a youth membership and the other is a not so youth membership. So I'm very happy, extremely happy, excited the fact that Rotaractors now are have been given the status. It's very important that the Rotarians also start thinking a little differently. There was a time when the Rotarians thought the Rotaractors were their boots on the ground, but I think they need to understand they are their minds on the ground now. That's extremely important. So that's one big change that we need to make. What are the goals? Again, the goal is each one bring one. So the Rotaractors, the numbers today are 200,000 reported members around the world, and we expect the growth to be at 100,000 Rotaractors more around the world. It's not difficult. Also because your numbers necessarily aren't totally reported. At times clubs do not, but the moment you start paying your dues over a period of 2 years' time, your numbers would become reported. And the best thing that'll happen, in the coming years, when they ask what's the membership of Rotary, it's going to be the combined number of Rotarians and Rotaractors. That will be the membership, the numbers of Rotary. And that number I like to see go to 1.5 million very soon. Probably it'll take 2, max 3 years. So please go back, each one bring one, spread the word.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello from Texas. I wanted to first thank you for your commitment to continuing the work with youth exchange for our students in addressing the GDPR, the data collection, the youth protection, and the other issues that we're now facing and the changes that we're facing. And I would just ask you to continue to work, if you could please, sir, on the exchange board and the advisory council. And we just want to appreciate all of that you've done. And I just wanted to make sure you knew that. And I know you're working with Holger on all those issues. And I just ask for the full support of that so that we can make sure that the changes that we make in such as the crisis management plan that we're working with James Dietrich on, that we continue to do that, because it has made an incredible, incredible difference to protect our youth and also to come together and make sure that we make the right policies. So thank you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that you appreciate that the decisions that we have taken for the safety of the youth exchange students.
Hello, it's so good to see you. I'm in between tall and short. I want to thank you so much for your focus on empowering girls. It's a focus that I've enjoyed working with Malawi, and I have several classmates who've done good work. And we had our first 3 young women graduate from high school in Malawi last year. And because of your inspiration, we already have 20 more sponsored through our district, because they said you wanted that done. And so our little bit has made that happen. And
Wonderful.
I'm thrilled with it, but I want to know how, with all the choices you have, did you select something that was so meaningful to so many other people here?
So, I like doing things by involving people, by coming to a consensus. So at one of the informal meetings that I had with the incoming directors, including Susie, I threw some about 10 ideas there, that these are some of the things that we would be able to do. And slowly we zeroed down on the consensus of empowering girls. In fact, my thought was at that time, the girl child. It was the girl child. And then it was realized that probably it did not resonate so very well in North America. So it became empowering girls. So that's how we came to it. And I think there is a good plan and a great opportunity for all of us to be able to do real meaningful work in empowering girls. And
It's
I compliment your club and compliment you for what you're doing already.
Yes, President Shekhar, it's us again.
Hi, Andy. How are you?
We would like to know if there's anybody in this room that you would like to invite to the International Convention in downtown Houston, Texas, USA.
Each and every one of you.
Do that.
And do you have a pre-convention event that you would like anyone to attend?
Sure. So we have 7 presidential conferences around the world. The 7th is at Houston. And it is the pre-convention event. It's on the presidential conference. The theme is peace. And I'm sure each of us is working for peace. Very frankly, if there are people in this world who are working for peace, it is Rotarians or people like Rotarians. Everything that we do is one step towards positive peace in someone's life, in some community, and at times around the world.
Thank you so much.
Well, we get to see Rashi.
The meeting, next time you want to see Rashi, don't have the meeting at this time. It was early in the morning for us here, you know.
All right, we're done.
It's 6:32 a.m.
Hi, Anita, how are you?
Welcome to
Namaste.
Texas. My name is Niana and I'm with McAllen Evening Rotary, and I have a question for you because Rotary International presidents are known for having big dreams, and apart from trying to solve the world COVID problem and increasing the numbers in Rotary, my question for you is, what problem that would you really like to solve within the next 5 years? What is it that we can do as Rotarians and collaborate and partner with in order to solve some great problem within a very short time?
I would say if there is a horizon for 5 years, maybe we'll need to increase it a little more, but I would love to see the entire world literate and educated. That's extremely important. The moment there is literacy, it leads to so many good things. At the root of all problems probably is illiteracy. When you are literate, when you can start understanding what is right, what is not, when you start understanding what your rights are, what your obligations are, people cannot cheat you, people cannot fool you, you can contribute better to life, to society. I think literacy is at the root of all of good things that people can do. So if we can ensure, so again, as I said, when I went from my home, I thought life was hunky-dory till I realized the other part of the world, which it wasn't. Similarly, literacy may sound to be a very simple thing for you, but you need to go in some parts, deep parts of Africa, of South Asia, and other parts of the world, and you will see what a big problem it is. And their biggest problem is illiteracy. Because of illiteracy, they cannot take care of their own health. They don't understand what their health needs are. They don't appreciate wash needs, etc., which again lead to health issues. So all of these issues are related to literacy and education, I would say. So if I had to give my vote, I would give it for education and literacy.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so
Wow.
much for being here.
Thank you.
Hi, President Shekhar. I'm Veronica from the Rotaract E-Club. I'm a little tall too. I had a question. How did you get involved with Rotary? Like, what was that click for you that, hey, this is something that I want to pursue?
You know, both my parents were involved. They were members of Lions clubs. So I'd seen them doing some bit of service activities. When someone asked a friend of mine named Chittaranjan, he said, Shekhar, would you like to join Rotary? And I asked him what it would involve. And he said, it's a good club, about 45 members, young people your age. And would you like to join? And I did not give too much of a thought and I joined. But you know, you asked when did I become a Rotarian? So about 3 months into joining my club, or maybe 6 months, I don't remember now, there was an event where we were distributing artificial limbs, calipers, wheelchairs, etc., to people who did not have one of their limbs or something like that. So the camp was happening and everyone was given a responsibility. I too was given a responsibility, and it was to find that the people that we were giving hand tricycles, would they be able to use it? Did they have enough powers in their hands to do it, because they did not have legs? So I said, okay, so my responsibility was to find out whether that person had enough strength in the hand or not. I said, okay, I'll do it. But how would I do it? I said, okay, I'll ask them to hold my hand and pull my hand so I would understand how much strength they have in pulling the hand. I stood and I was waiting for the first person to come. And then I realized that person wasn't walking, he was crawling because he did not have legs. Both his legs were cut, amputated. And when he stretched out his hand, they were not clean hands, they were soiled hands. And I didn't want to hold them. At that moment, I was thinking of myself and not thinking of that person. But grudgingly, it was my responsibility. I had to hold the hand. The next hand, the third hand, all of them were all soiled hands. I wasn't realizing their pain. But something happened when I held the fifth or the sixth or the seventh hand. Suddenly, that feeling of not holding that hand had gone away. Probably I started understanding their pain. Imagine what life would be when you did not have two legs and you had to crawl. That time, whether your hand is soiled or not is not important. The fact that you'll be able to walk tomorrow because artificial limbs are going to be put to you, that's more important. The moment that thought came there, the eighth hand did not make any difference. I could hold it firmly. I could understand the pain of that person. And I think that was the day I realized I probably became a Rotarian from just being a member of a Rotary club.
Thank you.
More questions, more comments? We certainly appreciate your visiting with us here in Pflugerville, Texas, from Calcutta, so early in the morning for you, and wish you very best in this Rotary year as each one of us brings what? Do I hear that? Brings what? Brings what?
Thank you. Wonderful seeing all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Susie, and thanks each and every one of you. It was wonderful, worth getting up so early in the morning. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you.